Good evening, I'm Tim here in Huntington.
I'm Amanda Barron in Charleston. We first told you this story back in July. A suspected serial killer who had the tables turned on him, killed by a woman he was about to make his next victim. What you haven't seen or heard before is what we're about to show you. News Channel 3's Taylor Eaton with her exclusive investigation of what really happened and what it looked like.
And he was just squeezing so tight, I didn't think I was going to live through it.
Heather Saul had a choice: kill or be killed by the stranger at her door.
I opened the door and he put the gun. I opened the door, he put the gun in my chest and he said, "Live or die." That's the first thing he said.
This is police interrogation video never seen publicly that WSAZ exclusively obtained. Heather Saul detailing the moment she encountered a suspected serial killer.
I'm sorry that I killed him. I didn't mean to kill him. I didn't want to kill no one. And I seen the gun, I grabbed it out and went like this and popped.
The man she killed, Neil Falls. He's now linked to at least 6 women's deaths, but could be tied to dozens of others in 9 different states. Something Heather didn't know when she met him online and agreed to meet at her apartment on 6th Street in Charleston back on July 18th.
He said, "I'm going to prison for a long time, and it's your choice whether it's for rape or murder." I just knew he was going to kill me. First thing he did was grab my throat, and he wouldn't let me have a bit of air. He said, "I'm going to call the orders, and you're going to be quiet."
Then, the life or death moment. During a violent struggle, Falls began choking her.
He choked me real bad. I remember digging like anything I could, like I remember in his mouth, because he was like right here, and he was just squeezing so tight. I didn't think I was going to live through it.
Heather reached for anything she could. She grabbed a rake, and that's when her would-be killer made his fatal mistake. He put the gun down to grab the rake, and then
I just went like that and just shot, and I seen it. I was like, either he hasn't shot me yet, but either he's going to kill me because he's not letting me breathe at all, and I just knew he was going to kill me.
WSAZ also exclusively obtained police photos of the crime scene and the victim. Some of them too graphic to show on TV. What we can show you is this: the aftermath of that violent struggle. Items thrown all around, chairs overturned, and the bullet that would ultimately kill Neil Falls. But it wasn't what police found inside Heather's home that caught them off guard. Rather, outside, in a car filled with things you'd only see in a horror movie. This is exclusive video of what police call a serial killer kit.
Mr. Falls had a firearm, handcuffs. He had the ability to kill, maim, and disable, and keep prisoner, if necessary, any victim that he had ran across. So with the machete, the cutting instruments, large cache of trash bags and bleach, and plus he had a tub that you would fit in. There was a large tub in his vehicle with a lid on it that most women could fit into. So I don't know what his full intentions were. It's pretty clear that they were bad.
As Heather sat at the police station in silence, alone, she tried to process what just happened. Then her mother and sister arrive.
Who is this guy? I don't know him. I've never seen him before today. And we're off. I couldn't believe that he had pointed at me so long ago. He was going to shoot me. I couldn't believe it. I don't understand. Maybe it ain't for you to understand what that man had on his mind, But you do know that he was trying to kill you. You just don't know why.
Investigators say they believe Heather wasn't the only one Falls tried to kill on his trip from Oregon to West Virginia.
Mr. Falls lived in an area in Nevada where several escorts who were advertising online disappeared and were dismembered. He lived there at the time, and he's a viable suspect in that case.
And now Falls is possibly linked to other murders, including 2 in Texas where he was just days before coming to West Virginia. But investigators believe Falls' work may go back years and be connected to dozens of other women's murders in as many as 9 states. Secrets kept hidden for years that came to light.
I just did was that I had to fight him. He would kill me.
When this woman refused to become his next victim. Now, we also broke the story back in July of the list that Neal Falls had in his pocket when he showed up at Heather's house that day. That list had the names of 6 other women, 5 who are from West Virginia, another from California. So police say that Heather not only stopped herself from becoming a victim, but saved other women from falling victim to Neal Falls as well.
All right, fascinating, Taylor. Thanks so much. Now, we did obtain tons of video and so many pictures for this investigation. We haven't shown you all of it yet. Tonight on News Channel 3, at 11 and at 10 on the Tri-State CW, you'll see the things police told us they'd never seen before. It's what sent them backtracking across the country to find out who Neal Falls was and what he's done. That's part 2 of Taylor's investigation, Death of a Serial Killer.
Investigation that we aired tonight on News Channel 3 at 6 o'clock. A suspected serial killer now linked to 6 women's deaths across the country.
Neal Falls was shot and killed back in July by a woman in Charleston. News Channel 3's Taylor Eaton shows you the things that police say they had never seen before that sent them backtracking across the country to find out who he was and what he's done.
I opened the door and he put the gun. I opened the door, he put the gun in my chest and he said, "Live or die." That's the first thing he said.
When Heather Saul opened her door July 18th, she had no idea just who was behind it.
I'm sorry that I killed him. I didn't mean to kill him. I didn't want to kill no one. And I seen the gun, I grabbed it out and went like this and popped.
You're watching video WSAZ exclusively obtained of Heather Saul detailing a split-second decision that police say saved her life and possibly others. Neal Falls, the man she shot and killed inside her home, is now linked to at least 6 women's deaths in 2 states. But as the web unravels, there could be dozens more in 9 states, something Heather didn't know when she met him online and agreed to meet. And just who is Neal Falls? We dug into his past and found no criminal record, just normal traffic stops. But police say when it comes to his reputation, none of this surprises those who knew him.
Mr. Falls worked as a security guard at the Hoover Dam in Nevada, and there were conversations online from former co-workers that they actually were not surprised that Mr. Falls was killed by a prostitute.
Police have also shared Facebook posts with WSAZ between Falls' former co-workers, talking about him and his odd behavior that later cost him his job. Here, one talks about how he used to lure in deer, make them think he was their friend, then brutally murder them. Another says he kept a black book with people's names who had done him wrong. And this one says, looks like they believe he was a serial killer, called that one 10 years ago. Police say his former co-workers even joked about his obsession with prostitutes and how they thought he may have killed some. Little did they know, their jokes may be all too real. And as for the weapons they found in Falls' car the day he was killed, police call them a serial killer kit.
What we found in his vehicle and the things that he said to Heather and the actions that he took against Heather lead me to believe that he may have planned on dismembering her after she was dead.
Because he was going to kill me.
Police learned Falls carried these items across country after his fatal struggle with Heather, from Nevada to Texas to West Virginia and all of his stops in between. But in his pockets, just his ID, a card from the security company he worked for, and his wallet. But inside that wallet, no cash, no credit cards.
We do have some financial records that we have been able to obtain, but we have not found any sign of cash or any sign of credit or debit cards. So there are items that we have not found.
While he traveled, it appears he lived out of his car with a sleeping bag and pillow. Investigators say he had no permanent address, and all he kept with him was a gym bag full of clothes, all the same outfit, white shirts and black pants. Packed tightly in with them, a Bible In his trunk, a stash of old Subway bags.
And I bet he had 150 of those in his car, just all stashed together in a container.
In one final act, Falls mailed money, personal documents, and weapons to a woman in Texas he'd met online and had stayed with for several days. She also kept his dog. And there's only one explanation police can come up with.
I can only speculate, but Mr. Falls had a bulletproof vest in his possession, which sometimes indicates that he may be planning to go out in a blaze of glory.
But that blaze came to an end at the hands of Heather Saul, a woman he was intent on killing.
I didn't want to kill him, but I didn't have their choice.
Now, another question that we wanted answered, why is it taking this long to formally connect Neal Falls to some of these women's murders? Police say that's because the only way they can do that is with DNA, and in some of these cases, these women have been missing for years, or they were dismembered, so there may not be DNA.
All right, Taylor, the investigators say that we should know the results of some of those tests anyway, sometime around the beginning of next year.